Hey everyone, so today's video is an empties video. I've collected these basically over the past like 3 or so months. I basically just film these videos whenever I've accumulated enough products to film with, and I do have quite a few empties here. So I will be sort of going through them relatively quickly, basically just telling you whether or not I'm gonna repurchase them in like little mini reviews, basically like little speed reviews. And generally these videos are mostly skincare because you most consistently go through skincare, but there are actually a few makeup products in here, and I used to not include the makeup products that I finished in Project Pans, but I feel like it's kind of fun to save them and include them in these videos and sort of look back on what I've actually finished in the last 3 months. So there are quite a few makeup products, quite a few skincare products as well. I'm going to first start off with actually a few products that aren't completely finished, but they're very close to being done. I just wanted to include them in here so I can throw them out when I finish them off instead of having to keep them for another like 3 months or so. The first product is from Australian Gold. I feel like I've talked about this in a video for some reason. I don't remember what video, but this is their plant-based lotion sunscreen SPF 50 for the face. And this brand basically just makes sunscreen, and at first I did enjoy this. I don't know, I felt like sometimes it kind of stung my eyes a little bit. It is a chemical sunscreen, so I'm thinking I want to try out a physical sunscreen. But recently I've been using this and I find that it hasn't stung my eyes and I haven't had issues with it. And recently I have really liked it. And this is a pretty affordable sunscreen. So I was thinking I wasn't gonna repurchase this initially, but recently I have been liking it compared to, I don't know, before I thought it was stinging my eyes, but I think when I let it sink in a little bit, like I'll apply my moisturizer or whatever, and then apply this over top, and I think I need to let it sink in a little bit before I apply my makeup because I have been doing that recently and I haven't gotten any issues with like my eyes stinging or anything, so I potentially will repurchase this. If I'm going to take this long on every product, this video is going to be so long, so I'm going to try to go a little bit faster. The next product is from The Ordinary. It's their glycolic acid 7% toning solution. This is actually my second bottle of this, and I did initially really like this. This will probably take me like a little while to finish off, but I feel like right now this is just a little bit too intense for my skin. I feel like my skin is sort of getting more sensitive. I don't know if it's necessarily getting more sensitive or I'm just realizing that I actually have sensitive skin, whereas before I feel like I didn't really know much about my skin, so I've kind of been like interested more in skincare and actually getting to know my skin a little bit better. So I feel like this is just a little bit too intense for my skin and I'd like to try something else, so I won't be repurchasing this one. And then we have another product from The Ordinary. I actually really like this. This is one that I do want to repurchase. I just haven't gotten around to it yet, and I probably still have like one use left of this, maybe two. This is the AHA 30% plus BHA 2% peeling solution. So this is a mask that you leave on for maximum 10 minutes. So it is definitely very effective and like definitely very strong, but I like that it's like a very quick mask. It's not a mask that I have to sit with my skin for like 15-30 minutes to wait to rinse it off. This literally you can leave on for like 5 minutes, and I find that 5 minutes is pretty much enough for me, especially with my sensitive skin. And right away I noticed a difference. My skin is so much smoother right after I use this, and I even noticed that like the next day applying my skincare and makeup, my skin is just so much smoother. So this is one I definitely will repurchase at some point in the future. And then next, getting into like my actual empty products, I do have a few hand creams, which these are just like some cheap hand creams that I got somewhere, I don't know, kind of boring. And I actually have 3 of them. They're different brands. I don't know if you guys care about the brands. I'm not going to tell you anyways. They're just like really cheap hand creams. They weren't that great anyways. And then I do actually have some nail polishes here. So this year I did a nail polish Project Pan, and I don't know, I just threw these in here, so I guess I'll share them with you. I finished off these 3 mini polishes, so they're minis. They didn't take really long to go through. They probably took like 3 to 5 uses for each of them, but they are from Julep. I don't think Julep even sells nail polish anymore. Anyways, it's kind of satisfying just to see all of these empty. And then one that I got actually last Christmas, so this did last me a really long time, except I wasn't using it consistently throughout the whole year, but this is the Briogeo Curl Charisma Rice Amino and Avocado Leave-In Defining Cream, and I did really enjoy this. I found that it really hydrated my hair, but I also haven't really tried many products like this at all. I've also recently been getting into more hair care products, so I wouldn't repurchase this for now. I want to try out some other products. I feel like it wasn't a miracle or anything for my hair. It just left it feeling like more hydrating as it should, or hydrated, which I want to try more products that are similar to this because I feel like there's a ton out there. Let me know down below in the comments if you have like frizzy, sort of curly, but kind of straight, like weird hair like mine. Let me know what products and like curl creams and leave-in creams that you like to use and that work for you. I also finished off this Olive Illuminating Face Polish, which I don't believe this is cruelty free, but this is basically just like a face exfoliant, and I did actually really enjoy it. But like I said, it's not cruelty free. I'm not going to repurchase it. And then we have another skincare product from Good Molecules. This is actually the first skincare product that I've tried from Good Molecules. I would like to try more from them. This is their Daily Brightening Serum. I didn't notice a huge difference with this. I feel like with skincare, it's so hard to tell a difference, especially serums like this. So I wouldn't repurchase this specific product, but I would be interested in trying other products from them. If you do like Good Molecules, let me know what your favorite products from them are down below. I also finished off some Burt's Bees product. This one is a lemon butter cuticle cream, which I do really like, especially for the winter time when my hands and fingers get so dry. And then I also finished off one of their hand salves, and I did really like this, especially again as we get into the winter time when it gets a lot more dry. And I actually have gone through one of these cuticle creams before. I would consider repurchasing this. I do really like it. The hand salve, I don't know, it wasn't anything like amazing to me. I probably wouldn't repurchase this one. And then one of the last skincare products we have before getting into the makeup is this Formula 10.0.6 Thirst No More Moisturizer, Fruit Complex, and White Tea. This was okay. I feel like, I don't know, it was just kind of an average moisturizer. Again, with skincare, I feel like it's hard to tell like a huge difference, but this, like, for the price, I feel like it's kind of pricey. I mean, it is more on the drugstore side. There are definitely a lot more expensive moisturizers, but this one I wouldn't repurchase. I'd rather just try other moisturizers and find one that I really love. So I have another product from Burt's Bees. This is their Cleansing Oil Balm, which I finished a while ago, and I did enjoy this. I don't know, it's kind of like any other cleansing balm. I feel like it took off my makeup fine. I do use a makeup eraser like cloth now, so I find that I don't really need a makeup cleansing oil or balm, but I do like to have one, so I haven't repurchased any type of cleansing balm. This one, I feel like, I don't know, wasn't anything amazing. I feel like I wouldn't repurchase it. I'd rather try like a different one. And then another fun, exciting product is from Biorgio, and I actually have two, and these came in a set last year. They do this set every year, and it took me pretty much a whole year to finish these off, so I probably will purchase these like yearly. The first one is the Scalp Revival Charcoal and Coconut Oil Micro Exfoliating Shampoo, which this is definitely my favorite between the two, just because I like a good like scalp exfoliation. And this does also smell really good. It's like minty, and like I said, this was definitely my favorite. I would repurchase like a bigger full size in this, but because I can get the two together, I would rather just do that like yearly and have them all year round. So the other one is more of a conditioning treatment. This is the Don't Despair Repair Deep Conditioning Mask, which I also did really love. So on days when I wanted to sort of like deep condition and deep shampoo my hair, I would use these together. So usually about like every 3-ish days, like twice a week, I would use these. And when I use these, I found that my hair was so smooth and so soft. So I did really love how these worked, and especially the shampoo. So I will be repurchasing these ones. Now getting into pretty much all of the makeup I think we have left. I did try some samples from Kosas, so I'm also currently working on some other samples from them. But this is the Kosas Wet Lip Oil Gloss, and it basically comes with 5 little samples, which these things are literally impossible to get product out. I'm probably like never gonna buy samples again after purchasing these, but I didn't like completely use up these last 2 shades that are really dark. I didn't want to bother with trying to use them, because how are you even supposed to use like these little foil packet things? But I also didn't think this was anything like extraordinary. I don't really understand the hype of them, but then again, I only got to use them with this little, like this impossible thing that's like you can barely apply them to your lips. So I may have had a different experience if I had like an actual mini size component, but yeah, I don't understand the hype of these. I didn't feel like they were that good, especially for the price of them. And then I also had a little sample of the Kosas The Sun Show Moisturizing Baked Bronzer. And same sort of thing with this. Like, this is easier to use because it's a powder, obviously just on like a sheet. And this, I actually, like, I was able to use the light and medium shade, but the deep shade, I literally just used as an eyeshadow, which worked really well, and it blended out really well as well. I do actually have this basically all over my eye underneath like the shimmers that are on my lid. So this one I did just finish off today, and I did enjoy it, except for the price, I just don't think it's worth the money. Like, the hype of this, I do understand because it's a really great product, but I just don't think that it's worth the money, and I don't know if it deserves like as much hype as it got. I feel like there's drugstore alternatives that would be just as good as this. So if you couldn't tell, I wouldn't repurchase or like purchase the full size of either of these. And then I also have this ColourPop Pretty Fresh Hydrating Hyaluronic Acid Primer, which I do really, really love, but I don't purchase from ColourPop anymore. And this is actually, I think, the second one of these that I've gone through, but I'd rather just purchase or try a different hydrating primer. I also finished this brow pencil off actually in one of my project pans. This is the IT Cosmetics Brow Power. I got this in a BoxyCharm probably like 3 or 4 years ago, and it was like a fine pencil. It wasn't anything extraordinary. I don't really purchase high-end brow pencils or brow products in general, so I definitely wouldn't repurchase this. And then I have another brow product which I also got in a BoxyCharm. This is the Billion Dollar Brows, the Microblade Effect. So it's basically like a brow pen, and this is like a little bit finicky to work with. So I didn't love this. I definitely wouldn't repurchase it, but it did definitely inspire me to purchase like other brow pens. Like, this is one where it's like a little three-pronged like fork thing that you're supposed to use, which it did look like really natural in the brows and make like hair-like strokes, but I just wouldn't repurchase this, and I think this is more on the pricey side as well. I also finished off an Urban Decay eyeshadow primer. I use eyeshadow primer pretty much every day or every time I apply makeup. I feel like there's not really an eyeshadow primer that doesn't work, although this is pretty much like the only one that I've consistently used and tried out. I did really like this. I definitely wouldn't repurchase it. I feel like there's eyeshadow primers at the drugstore. You don't need to spend this price on them. And then I also finished a Juvia's Place concealer. I actually didn't finish this. I'm just decluttering it. And I kind of forgot about this because this is just way too light for me. And on top of that, it doesn't smell great. It kind of smells like paint, which I've had this for a pretty long time. But on top of that, this is also way too light for me, and it's super, super full coverage. So like, if it's too light, I can sort of make it work, but when it's this full coverage, it's kind of impossible to make it work. And I just didn't love the way this looked on my skin, just because I have dry skin. So I feel like it kind of like, it didn't really look great on my skin. And it probably also didn't look great because it is so light on me. So this one I will just be decluttering. I just don't enjoy it. It's way too full coverage, which I just wear concealer nowadays. I don't even wear foundation, so this is just way too full coverage for me. So if you do enjoy a full coverage concealer, I would highly recommend this, but this is also just way too light for me. If you want a reference, this is in the shade 21. So I feel like they have a very, very good shade range in this though, because this isn't even close to their lightest shade, I don't think. And then I also finished off, finally, my Soft Focus Glow Complexion Enhancer. And these last two products are actually kind of the most exciting because they weren't in project pans or anything. I just like organically finished this off, which I was sort of like unofficially trying to pan this. This isn't my favorite product. Like, if you like a glowy primer like this, you would enjoy it. But this is the shade 02 Golden Glow, so it's a little bit more bronzy for my skin tone, which is what I wanted in this product. I feel like it did obviously give me a little bit of a glow, but when you put concealer or foundation over top, you don't really see it. So I'm not a huge fan of these like glowy primer type of products, so I definitely wouldn't repurchase this. But if you do like those types of products, I would recommend this one. And then the last product, the I think most exciting product in this Empties video is my Fenty Beauty gloss in the shade Hot Chocolate. It looks like there's a little bit of product at the bottom, which I mean there is, but it's literally impossible to get out. I took the stopper out of this and everything. I literally never take stoppers out, so there was still quite a bit of product left in this when I took the stopper out, but I feel like I finished this pretty easily just because I can apply gloss multiple times a day. And I do really, really love this gloss, so I'm kind of sad that I won't have it in my collection anymore. But I do have like so many glosses in my collection, so I'm excited to have another gloss out because my makeup inventory, especially with my glosses, is kind of a little bit overboard. So I'm glad to get at least one gloss out of my collection this year. And I think I did finish off a couple more earlier in the year. But that is it for this Empties video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, especially now that there was more like makeup in it and it wasn't just skincare. Let me know down below in the comments if you enjoy these videos and what other types of videos you would like to see from me. But if you did like this, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And I do post new videos 3 times a week, so if you want to see more from me, make sure to subscribe and don't forget to hit that bell icon to get notified every time I post. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.